All right, guys. It is just about 9 o'clock. Welcome to Implausible Nature. We are live streaming simulcast the GW Nova live stream tonight. So, unfortunately, as you can see, there's no picture below me. It's more than likely just going to be me. Bob will unfortunately not be able to join us tonight, as far as I'm aware. Maybe he'll be able to join later, depending on how long this lasts. We'll just have to wait and hear from him. Um, so yeah. So while we wait for this to come up, GW's usually a few minutes late. Um, hopefully, everything's set up right. We should have sound from them as well. So if we don't, please let me know in the comments so that way I can troubleshoot. Fortunately, they blather on for a few minutes before they actually show us any real content, so we'll have a few minutes to fix it if there's any trouble. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited for this. I am about 99% sure we're going to see a whole bunch of new Space Marine models. Um, I don't know if you guys read the description. What are you thinking that we're going to see? I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're going to see, well, they had a preview image, the like silhouettes or whatever. One of them is very obviously a jump marine, which is something that I was expecting to see, especially with the discontinuation of Assault Marines kit, which I thought was a little weird. I mean, I understand they're going to sell this now, but I thought it was a little bit weird because that's a relatively new kit in the realm of GW kits. So not that I'm disappointed that we're probably getting Jump Marines. I'm very excited actually. Uh, but that between that and the fact that they just gutted Vanguard vets at the beginning of this edition tells me we're probably getting some kind of Primaris unit to replace it. I also think we're getting Primaris Scouts. It was only a matter of time before we were going to get Primaris Scouts. We have the Primaris Neophytes. So GW already has the digital files and the assets to make, variations on those, I'm sure. Um, and with the discontinuation of those kits as well, which let's be honest, no one's gonna miss those kits, especially those heads. The scout heads were just frightening. It gives nightmares. So, so I think we're going to see Primaris Scouts. I think we're going to see multi-part kits for several of the Leviathan units, specifically Stern Guard. I think we're going to see multi-part Terminators. Um, I think I think we're going to see Assault Terminators. That's another expectation slash hope of mine. Um, so um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much what I am expecting. I'm sure they've got something, maybe a vehicle or two, that we'll see. I don't know. They did discontinue some bikes, and some what do you call it? The land speeders, a classic. So maybe we see a new land speeder kit. Um, I'm half tempted to say that while they are, discontinuing those firstborn kits, that they're really just going to make Primaris-sized versions of them and call them the same unit, like they did with uh, Stern Guard, right? Stern Guard were a firstborn unit, and they just straight up made Primaris versions of them. Still Stern Guard, still, veterans. Like, I think that's what we're going to see more of is, just bigger, scaled up models than what we, used to see. Um, so yeah. Um, James says a captain with scout ability would be nice for our Crusader squads. That would be nice. I don't think we're gonna get it. Maybe in the Codex. Maybe. Maybe in the Codex we'll get some kind of enhancement for a character that gives them scout. That would be pretty neat to be able to plug them into a Crusader squad so they can use it. Um, So yeah, unfortunately, if you want to run a character with Crusaders, you are giving up Scouts, which is disappointing. But at the same time, uh, it's fine. It just means that there's a reason to run them without a character as well. So so yeah, those are kind of my predictions. So we'll see how right we are. I am in that, and hopefully we're gonna have a good old time tonight. We'll have to see what they reveal. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Something else unrelated to that, while you guys decide what things you want to see or are expecting to see tonight. I wanted to mention that our partner, Baron of Dice, is at Nova. So if you are at Nova this weekend, go visit him in booth 8 and get some of our dice there. He's got both sets of our dice, and you can still use your discount code IN40K to get a little bit of money off from him in person. So go check him out. Booth 8 is where he's at, Baron of Dice. Great guy, fantastic dice. I really love his dice. Everyone that's bought them has loved them too. They're really really well made. I really enjoy using them. So go check him out. Mr. Mulligan says I need to see a Terminator Chaplain. You know what? That would be pretty nice. Um, you can't see it, but I have behind me is a display case, and in it I have the old school Terminator Chaplain, the OG guy in metal. Um, Even if they release a Terminator Chaplain, it's gonna be hard for me to not field him instead, because he's just such a great model. He's one of the best models GW has ever made, in my opinion. He still holds up incredibly well today. If you can get your hands on one, by all means do so. Super Cosmic Space Magnet says, I'm really excited for the Hammerfall bunker. Okay, I don't know why. It's actually not terrible anymore. It's pretty okay actually for a fortification. Yeah, new chaplain. So could see a new chaplain. So we got get your patron dice, Black Sword. They are awesome. Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Get the square edge dice. Yes. All our dice, there are you can buy them rounded corner if you just prefer that for some reason. That was actually kind of a manufacturing error. Those were supposed to be another style of dice, and they ended up with our logo on them instead. So you can buy rounded corner ones, but honestly, the square corner ones will roll better for you more evenly, whatnot. So, Grand Enforcer with a super chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. Said, just saw this happening. Hope I haven't missed anything yet. You have not. Thanks for doing this live stream with a Black Templar spin. Here's hoping they drop some BT friendly models. Um, I I would not be surprised if we got some BT friendly models. Not BT models per se, but yeah, jump pack Marines. I'm pretty sure are coming. I'm hoping to see Assault Marine, the new sized up, sorry, Assault Marine, Assault Terminators will be awesome as well. Um, so yeah. So once again, thank you, Grand Enforcer, for that super chat. Greatly appreciate that. While we wait, I also want to take a minute to thank all of our patrons for all the support you guys give us. It's definitely greatly appreciated. We couldn't do this without you guys. If you want to check out our Patreon, it's patreon.com/implausible nature. We've got a lot of great benefits, a lot of cool things on there, including free swag. So, and you get access to those special Patreon dice. So yeah. But I also do want to thank everyone who subs this channel. We really, really greatly appreciate all the support you guys give us, all the engagement that you give us on the channel. We're not a very big channel compared to some of the bigger 40K guys, but you guys are definitely engaged more than probably most channels, which we love and we think is fantastic. So, I want to also apologize again. I know I've posted this on a chat for the lack of content recently. We've both been pretty busy. Our schedules haven't lined up very well for recording. I do have working on editing our next video right now, so look out for that. Probably by this weekend, we'll have that. Um, I'll give you a little teaser into it. It's going to be called "Big Guns Never Tire." So yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, so may try refreshing. So let's go ahead and do that. Yep, there we go. This, oh, it's an ad break. So it's an ad that on Twitch here. That's what we're seeing right now.
Roll for the Blood Angels on the index cards. That's +2 strength on the charge. That's
there we go. Look at this. Captain with jump pack.
6 chainswords all over the place. Loads of attacks. Get them in combat. Wonderful stuff. And a wonderful model as well. That's going straight on my painting desk.
But that's not it. There's even more Space Marine stuff on the way. So let's have a look at the next video.
So. Called it. Stern Guard.
Another new multi-part Space Marine unit. This time it's the Stern Guard. These are the elite Space Marines of the First Company. Nick, tell us about this kit.
They are the best armed unit in your army, Eddie. And first and foremost, they've got a back banner. Back banners are back, which is great. We've got an older...
You're very excited about
very excited about that. I really am.
Yeah.
We've got older marks of armor in there. You can spot some Mark 8 helmet on the left-hand side and a few bits. These guys are veterans. Have been around for a long, long time.
I like it. Look at the flamer.
Guns, including
it's like a double Infernus flamer.
Cannon.
The Pyre Cannon.
Souped-up version of the guns that the Infernus Marines carry. So this thing is the biggest, most flamey infantry weapon we've got, even bigger than a heavy flamer, which is cool. Loads of options on the kit. You can arm them with loads of different things. All the guns interchangeable with bolt rifles, combi weapons. The sergeant's got different options he can have as well. You can have a chainsaw, power fist, or power weapon. Just soup them up, kit them out the way you want and send them to battle. Yeah. These guys are great.
This is a great kit for people who want loads of Space Marine bits as well to kind of maybe mix with other kits, because you've got loads of different helmet options.
I like them. Notice there's a melee on the sergeant. I like that we're going to get
combi weapons.
melee melee options for the sergeant. Finally,
you really can make these guys your own. And when you do build this kit, you'll have lots of spare bits to kind of sprinkle through.
Mr. Mulligan, I think they announced jump pack intercessors. Yeah, my apologies, guys. I should have refreshed the stream. So that's on me.
Really
my bad.
It's nice, like if you hark back to classic Space Marine builds in there as well. So they've got the old helmets, a few like different armor types in there, which is just really nice to see, especially for us old in the tooth Space Marine players who've painted them for a long time. Nice nostalgia trip as well. It's really cool to see. There we go. Stern Guard veterans, man.
But not the only new elite Space Marines are on the way. There's more. There's more.
Can't believe it. What else we got?
Let's have a look.
I like how they act all surprised. We can't believe it. There's more Space Marines. Of course there are. Oh, this is interesting. Bionics. I like it. That's a captain for sure. Command Squad. Primaris Command Squad.
So this is the return of a kind of classic archetype Space Marine unit, the Command Squad. So we've seen Command Squads before, but we've not kind of seen them.
Hopefully the banner doesn't
together, maybe
suck.
Kind of Primaris,
That's all the banners suck.
Tell us about
except for the Terminator guy.
Command Squads have always been sort of a collection of guys who are brought together, but this is actually a bespoke squad First and foremost, Eddie, some of the nicest Space Marine miniatures we've ever made.
They're pretty cool.
Ancient for me is just
The captain
beautiful.
is
Some of the
meh.
coolest veterans,
He's
also
very
bringing the
generic.
into battle. These
Nothing
guys are basically a
special
squad of
about that
4,
captain.
another company, either a
I'm sure he's
captain or a
multi-part.
chapter master into battle. Their box actually comes with the captain you see there, which is another brand new captain miniature as well, with loads of options all over him as well. And the whole squad is there to guard your hero.
But that heavy
and
bolter
keep
is
them
pretty
alive in battle
interesting.
a lot longer, and to buff everyone around them and be absolute boss in combat and shooting as well. They're just a really cool little unit, and for me, really, it's going to be a nice little painting project as well. I think these guys are great.
Yeah, I think these really are like a painter's dream. There's some really nice individual models in there. So the company champion is obviously he's going to. Is just a really nice kind of character, great for taking on enemy heroes. You've got the banner as well, which gives you a nice kind of centerpiece for the army. You've also got a Space Marine that looks a bit battered and missing an arm. We haven't seen a huge amount of bionics up to this point on Primaris Marines. But again, the captain is probably the star of the show because he's, again, really flexible kit. You can build it in lots of different ways. So coming straight out of this release,
Hopefully the
you can
captain
kind of choose whatever
has some
captain you want to lead
options.
your Space Marine force. You can
That
have him
being
in
said,
jetpack, you can have him in
our
Intelligence
martial
armor,
model
you
is
can have him
pretty much
in,
way cooler
Tacticus armor,
than this guy.
Within that choice,
He's not
you
bad,
can
though.
still choose
He's just
multiple
generic.
options. So it's a great time to start collecting Space Marines and to kind of lean into whatever you want for your,
Yeah, you're
your
absolutely
leader.
right. Yeah, good shout. Look at them top right there with his pointy power fist and his plasma pistol.
Yeah, and that's all from the same kit. So you've got lots of different ways you can approach building that Space Marine captain.
Interesting.
Wonderful stuff. It's really nice to see sort of hero models back with lots of different options as well. Lots of people have been asking for them as well, and it's great to see customizable heroes like this again from Games Workshop. Really nice. Very cool. All right.
So at the other end of the experience spectrum for Space Marines, you've
Yes, of
got
course.
those plucky young
Here we come.
recruits who are on maybe their first
Scouts.
mission with the chapter. Let's have a look at our next video.
Yep. James says the Marshal is also 5 points easier. Yes, he is. That matters sometimes. Nice. These guys look great. I like it. About time we finally got some better
10th
scouts.
Company of the Space Marines are going out for their training day. What do we know about this squad?
So we've seen this archetype before in the Black Templar squads when they had the I can't remember the name. Not
Neophytes.
The Neophytes.
Thank you.
God.
But now we see sort of Codex chapters get access.
Take
to
your nerd
scouts
card,
as well
Nick.
with the new models. They're just absolutely beautiful. Of course, a very classic unit for the Space Marines. Scouts have been around pretty much as long as Space Marines have been in Warhammer 40,000. You can take squads of these in 5 to 10. Lots of different weapon options in the box. They can all have shotguns, bolters, or bolt pistols and combat knives. There's also options in the box for a heavy bolter and a missile launcher as well, which is super cool. And yeah, these guys are super stealthy in the game.
That's
You
right.
can
Once
lead them around the
again,
battlefield. They can
we
disappear
lead
and
the
be all over
way.
place. And they can use a smoke screen stratagem as well. So they just
Oh,
walking
okay.
around and screens.
smoke.
See, look how good they look
Yeah,
in
really
black.
cool.
Yeah, you've got some
I
options
realize
for
it's the wrong
sergeant in
black,
there
but
as well. So
still.
he's obviously a fully fledged Space Marine, but choosing to wear scout armor to kind of lead them to battle. You've also got a sniper rifle in there as well. So
Yes.
you've got lots of tools of the trade basically. So your kind of will be Devastator Marines can try out some of the heavy weapons.
They can try exactly. They can go for enemy characters with the sniper rifle. You can take out long-range targets. They're really good at sneaking around and taking objectives, especially with their guerrilla tactics rule. It lets them just sneak off in any way they want to. They're really cool in an army. And just look at the custom options of these kit. I love that grapnel launcher top right. It's so cool. The whole box is just a great box. Let's get involved. You know.
And again, it's going to come with loads of different options because you can kit the squad out kind of in bolter direction, in bolt pistol direction, or in shotgun direction. So you're going to have all those other bits left to play with for lots of different.
I always used to have like 4 guys with bolt guns and a heavy bolter, and then another squad that was all combat weapons running into combat with them. Because they're still Space Marines in combat. They're still pretty good in a fight.
Well, they're still better than most people's other basic troops,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, yeah.
There we go. New
Pretty
Scouts
cool.
on the way very soon. There's so much to get painted now for Space
There's a
Marines.
lot of Space Marines.
So much Space Marines to
Got
get.
enough blue paint, Nick?
Plenty, but also note to say that all of the models we've just shown you can be used for any of the chapters out there. So no, not just
Well,
blue paint, although
of
blue paint,
course.
in my opinion, is the best. Yeah, if you're Dark Angel fans, Blood Angel fans, all for you as well. Some folks in the chat sort of saying, all just for Codex chapters. No, they'll be. I'm sure you'll be finding it useful in your Space Wolf army as well, and your Death Watch forces. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use those models as well.
Yeah. All
We
right,
got-
let's just
we
have
got
a
new
quick,
neophyte
round
models,
up
lads.
Of all those Space Marines that we've just seen, then, and then we'll tell you a little bit about the Codex.
Planet Wagram was ruthlessly devoured, but the war did not end there.
I'm not sold on the chaplain, guys. He's got a storm shield, though. That's pretty interesting. We've never seen a chaplain with a storm shield.
So that's all of the new Space Marine models that are on their way. They are, of course, featuring in a brand new codex for the Space Marines, which will be the second codex for the new edition of Warhammer 40,000 after the Tyranid 1 goes on pre-order this weekend. Nick, what do we know about this new Space Marine codex?
So exciting. Every time we see a Space Marine codex, there's always new exciting things to talk about. The big one here, of course, is that there are more detachments on the way. We've seen detachments already for the new Tyranids that came around before, but the Space Marines are going to get new ones as well. Of course, there's the Gladius Task Force, which we know and love from the index cards. That's in there as well. But also, there's a whole bunch of new detachments that lets you focus your army in the way you want to. Now, previously, we would have had stuff like rules for Iron Hands or rules for Salamanders or White Scars. But rather than having chapter-specific rules now, we've actually gone for the detachments, which sort of hint heavily towards one of those chapters, but don't say you have to use them. So, for example, we've got one detachment that's all about using tech marines and vehicles, another one that's about close-quarter shooting, another one that's all about using fast vehicles to get forwards and fight, or even sneaking around in the background with sort of your vanguard troops. So you can customize your army any way you like. So you can have sort of
that's what we were expecting.
Ultramarines bikes with rules.
We weren't. I don't think anyone was expecting
makes sense.
So you don't quite feel bad for having the wrong color on the
thanks,
field,
thanks, Steve. No problem. Sorry, guys, that we missed the very beginning. I didn't realize the stream had crashed and we needed to refresh. So
certainly, if you do have an army like White
apologies.
Salamanders or Iron Hands that already lent into the theme, there is a detachment for
100%.
you. But equally, if you're like, you know what, I really like red Space Marines, but I also really like tanks or flamers or something, you can absolutely kind of lean in that direction and make the army work for you.
Which is a really nice little tweak to change here. You can build your army any way you like, which leans, of course, into how many different options there are. And so just look at that picture. You can build your army any way you like at all. With any of the miniatures, and there is going to be one of the detachments for you. My favourite one's going to be the First Company Task Force, Eddie. All about the veterans and the Terminators coming down, which you can also see the new Terminators and the new Stern Guard are perfect for, and they're all in there. Every detachment has its own stratagems and enhancements as well, just like the Tyranid book does, which leans into the style of warfare that you're going for. So yeah, it's super exciting, and it's just around the corner as well.
Yeah, coming in the next few weeks. Not too long at all to wait for that one.
Can't wait to play some games with that.
Right, so we've had a little bit of Warhammer 40,000. We're going to jump now to the Mortal Realms and have a look at something exciting that's coming over the horizon.
All right. So, I am going to mute this for a moment here. So now, while this plays in the background, because I know we're all here for 40K stuff, right? We're not here for the Mortal Realms, right? That's a different channel, I guess. But yeah. So some pretty dope looking models. The Stern Guard look great. I mean, the ones from Leviathan look great too. So, super excited about them. I'm very excited about Neophytes, and I'll tell you why. Or Neophytes, Scouts, and I'll tell you why. Is because there is only 2 poses, essentially. There's the pair of running legs and the standing legs in our box. So I am one of those people that I want to have a lot of unique poses, right? I don't want it to like somebody to look at a squad and go, half these guys are the same. So I like that we're getting new scout models. There'll be, I'm sure, plenty of third-party tablets and people green stuffing stuff, and plenty of ways to get that tabard onto uh, the um, the new models to make them Black Templary. So I'm not worried about that. I do appreciate the new poses and sculpts and things like that. So looking forward to the scouts. That's been a long time coming. So there was a lot of utilization for us for that. The jump pack intercessors. We've been begging for this forever. So really hope that they show out with that kit and they end up with a decent data sheet, because there's nothing worse than being like, yes, melee jump pack intercessor guys, and they suck. So we'll have to obviously wait and see what their data sheet looks like. But I'm really excited about those. The Terminators look great. The Chaplain, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not 100% sold on that Chaplain, to be honest with you. He's got a Storm Shield, which is a little weird to me. I've never seen a Chaplain with a Storm Shield. Um, but it is what it is. So, um, I think he's pretty cool looking. Is he going to replace my Chaplain? Probably not. But I am biased. I'm old school. So, um, Super Cosmic Space Marine asks about, is it the entirety of 40K stuff over? Is it entirely Space Marines today? We don't know, actually. Um, there might be more. I don't know how long this stream was planning to go. Usually they're not more than like an hour or so. We're certainly going to stick around here for a little bit and see if they jump back to it. They've got a lot of stuff on the docket for tonight. Um, so um, so yeah, so that might be it for 40K. I don't know. It's going to be hard to say for that. Um, Now, obviously, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the jump pack intercessors in the Terminator because I screwed up the beginning and I didn't refresh my stream right at 9 like I should have. So we missed the close up images of those besides just the quick preview shots. But really loving the new models. The um, the command squad is interesting to me. I'm a bit surprised that they came out with that. Hopefully, its rules will be decent. The current Firstborn one is really just meh. It's not very exciting. It doesn't do a whole lot that other units don't just do grossly better. So we'll have to see how they do it. Some of the models are pretty neat. If nothing else, it's probably good conversion fodder for stuff, right? The champion would be a good alternate company champion if you weren't able to get the guy. Let's see, actually got him right here built. So we'll see if you can see him. This guy right here. If you weren't able to get him when he was on direct order or prior to that, that's a good alternative company champion, Primaris company champion for us. Hopefully that data sheet doesn't get rolled into the command squad only. That would be terrible. Um, yeah, because that's what happened with the firstborn guys. They all got rolled back into the command squad instead of being individual characters. And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen with the Primaris one because right now the Primaris Company Champion is one of the best characters that we can attach to, especially Sword Bros. They're really good with Sword Bros. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what the Codex says. Mr. Mulligan says, doesn't have the flourish as I expect a chaplain to have. I will still get it. I probably will too. It isn't as good as the Warhammer commemorative model that came out a few years back. Yeah, honestly, every Terminator chaplain model they've come out with since the first one has just felt like an imitation of the first one. The old school metal one. They just seem to be imitating it. So I at least applaud them for going with a different take on the look with this one. So that's pretty cool. The captain, I didn't get a close up look on it. I'll have to look later. But he looked very, very similar to the captain that came in Leviathan. So yeah, I don't know. He just seems generic, but I mean that's okay. Plenty of conversion opportunities there as well. Format says, I don't know about the rest of you, but I got an extra PCS kits to use the 814 Neo build in 9th edition, use the initiatives for intercessors. Piece of cake to turn the spares into scouts. Yep, absolutely. Spares from the command squad will be nice. Ditto for characters. Yeah. So, yeah, uh, pretty good stuff tonight. Um, I pretty much called almost every one of those. The command squad is the only one I didn't have on my list, but I did have jump pack intercessors. I did have scouts. I did have Terminator and Stern Guard multi kits. So not that like this was some great secret or revelation that I had. This is just really kind of doing the math on like, hey, these are a bunch of kits that GW just discontinued. We're probably getting new ones. So, Not that I'm, some great foreseer of the future, because that would be heresy. Because psychers are heresy. So yeah, but yeah, overall, pretty pleased. Um, so you know, the Terminator kit or the Terminator's Assault. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again because, like I said, I'm sorry guys. I screwed up and missed the beginning. I was actually trying to see if I could, while this is playing on my computer here, potentially maybe rewind the live stream, but I don't think I can do that. We'll have to wait for it to finish out. Now, it's also possible that Warhammer might be live updating this um, on their website on Warhammer Community. Nova Open reveals. All the reveals right here. I think it's just still the article with the yeah, it's just the article with the live stream. So they're not showing anything yet on their website. I'm sure they will be right after the stream is over, so we'll be able to see that and start talking about that as well. Um, Even if the termies aren't assault, it should not be too hard to convert them to be assault, especially with a multi-part kit. Will make it a lot easier for us to convert them into assault versus, the Leviathan kit is push fit, makes it a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, just a little bit more difficult. But I don't have any doubt that an assault Terminator kit is coming if it's not going to be released at the same time. So yeah, what do you guys think? You happy with the Space Marine reveals? I think there's plenty of things here that we will use. Um, if nothing else, we can use almost all of this for conversion fodder, right? Especially that command squad will have a lot of good bits. Stern guard. I've already converted several of the Leviathan Stern guard into Primaris Crusaders because they have the same half tabard look thing going on and the same veteran look uh, that Crusaders sort of carry. The biggest difference is the belt. Crusaders have like the medieval style belt, and Stern Guarders have the standard Space Marine belt. So, so yeah. Um, so they're still showing Warhammer Age of Sigmar stuff. I'm not sure. Let me take a look and see. Hey, it's Bob. Bob popped into the chat. So let me see if I can take a quick look. I think there was just about every game system that GW offers on this stream tonight. So I don't know how long it was scheduled to last. Mr. Mulligan says, I found some pics and messaged them on Discord. Perfect. Thank you. Let me go now and look at them. Where did you put them on Discord? Did you DM them to me or did you put them in the Discord itself? The 2.0 squad asks, is this going to be it for Space Marines? I don't know. Maybe? Who knows? GW is slippery. I could see them being like, all right, well, we're gonna do all these other things, and then I'm like, all right, well, I think we're done, and sign off, and then suddenly there they are again with more Space Marine stuff. Um, Someone has them up in general, yeah. The real question is can I get them on screen for you guys? That will probably be a tight order. The jump pack dudes do look pretty awesome. The sergeant has a power sword, so that's good. Hopefully he can take other power weapons as well. And I really like them. They're pretty sweet looking. Let's take a look. That's the captain. The captain with jump pack. He's pretty neat. He's got a bunch of different options as well. I'm sure it'll be easy for us to convert him to look super templary. Yeah, they do look cool jumping off rocks. Let's see, where was the Terminators? There's the Chaplain. Yeah, he definitely looks weird to me. I don't know. Oh, he does have an option for a Stormbolter and a Storm Shield. The shield is dope. Could use the shield for something else, no doubt. Um, and then let's see if we have Terminators in the general chat. Yeah, we do. They look honestly very similar to the Terminators that were in Leviathan. I see that we do get other options. Thank you, Mr. Mulligan, for posting those, guys. I can't pull up Discord because to show you live because the box with my face in it is also Discord. So we'll just keep the stream going in the background here for a second, just in case they do pop in with some more 40K stuff. Probably not. I would have to guess that that we're going to, oh look, it's Horus Heresy. We can watch this. Let's bring some audio back in. They're pretty nice. Imagine they're high, scaled up. All right.
A new multi-part iron armor kit for the Horus Heresy. Nick, what do we
pretty
know
cool.
about this new unit?
Well, that is well.
So yeah, we'll cut the audio on there. The Mark III Tactical Squad. Those are pretty neat. I do. I'll come back to them in just a second. First, I want to thank Chaplain Geraldus for the awesome super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. He says, speaking of kit bashing, if I was rocking orcs, those guys would be converted for sure. Really digging the warm yellow. That's how I imagine Imperial Fist should be. Yeah. Yeah, the Imperial Fist, the warm yellow is really, really good with the Imperial Fists, which is nice. Um, the funny thing, speaking of orcs, the funny thing about orcs is, one of my friends is an orcs player, and he's like, every kit is an orcs kit because you can really do whatever you want. And you can just take whatever vehicle and be like, oh yeah, smash it up, put it back together, and stick some orc stuff on it, and go, oh, it's a looted whatever, and everyone is going to go, oh, all right, cool, yeah, that works. So orcs really do have it made. Everything is an orcs kit. But back to these Mark III tactical guys, they're pretty good looking. I don't know how they scale compared to Primaris, but I bet you could mix and match them legs and torsos and stuff like that with a Primaris kit and make some pretty good looking dudes. I'm not a big fan of the helmet. They're a little rounded for me. I do like the more angular Mark III helmets. So here's a new Dorado. It looks like Dorito, probably in plastic for Forge World for Horus Heresy. It's a Legends kit, obviously for us in 40K. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I was never a fan of it. It looks too much like a boat to me. So I'm not a super big fan of that one, but um, I like the Dead Space Marines. Did you guys notice that? That's pretty funny. So they are cruising right along here. 9:39. I think this stream is probably only scheduled to be an hour, would be my guess, because they're just going from one thing to another. They're not really taking much time to talk about anything. So it's really a shame, honestly, that they legend. Speaking of Horus Heresy, that they legend all those Horus Heresy kits. Like I get it. It's a different game, but you know, they took the time to make it so that, Titans, like a Warhound Titan, is legal in 40K with a legal data sheet. But they couldn't take the time to make it so that we can have updated data sheets on really cool models that are actually usable in games like Leviathan Dreadnought and the Spartan Assault Tank and, stuff like that. Um, so it's kind of a shame, unfortunately. I have a couple of those models. I don't know what I'm going to do with them now because they're legends. And while I could play them with my friends, um, you know, typically, we and you could certainly do that, but we generally focus on um, what's going to be tournament ready. A lot of our folks are interested in playing in tournaments and things like that, and so we want to make sure that we're also talking about what things you're going to be able to run at a tournament. Grand Enforcer says, is it wrong that I want to buy the jump pack intercessors just to get the jump packs to add to our tabards models? I mean, no. Um, we had the two of the three poses are walking poses, so I mean, it would certainly work. Um, I always feel like the jump pack dudes should at least be like running or like in motion, like not the standy still kind of poses. And maybe that's just because that's how it's always been. But it's just one of those things. You could certainly do it. Nothing wrong with it. So, so yeah. Um, so I'm guessing at this point they're probably done with 40K. They've been blazing a trail through some of these other game systems. Um, I don't think we're getting anything else 40K wise. Um, this looks like Warhammer Warcry, yeah. Yeah. Any more thoughts that you guys have? Tell me what you're thinking. What do we what do we like about these new kits? What don't we like about these new kits? What are you hoping for rules? Tell me your thoughts. I'm interested. The 2.0 squad says that was my biggest turnoffs to the buying the Age of Darkness box. If they would just make 30K models really playable in 40K, uh, I would actually start sending money to GW. Yeah, it's definitely unfortunately a thing that happened. I was not expecting it. Um, Mr. Mulligan says disappointing that there wasn't assault terminators, but I get it. Yeah, I think there's gonna be um, I think there's gonna be assault terminators. So you know, Bob says reveals needed more assault terminators. Yeah, that's probably my biggest disappointment. Brian says the hoping the points will be reasonable. Yeah, me too. I really don't want uh, the especially the jump pack guys to be priced out of being usable. Do the jump packs give a big advantage to assault units? I mean, yeah, being able to move 12 inches with fly, although fly isn't quite as good as it used to be, but being able to move 12 inches a turn is pretty great. The thing that we'll have to see is how good is that assault jump pack captain guy, and hopefully they'll come out with a one that, or they'll allow jump pack chaplains to go with them. Um, Speed is definitely something that's very, very useful for us. And I think even though with Righteous Crusaders we don't have the ability to advance and charge outside of Grimaldus, having jump packs be able to move at speed and get behind terrain, getting cover, um, can be pretty devastating. So if they're led by a character, We have good vows depending on what their ability is. They may get something like assault squads have now with like Hammer of Wrath. They may get something like the foot squads have, which honestly I would prefer over Hammer of Wrath. Hammer of Wrath is fine, but the foot assault squad have a pretty awesome, um, pretty awesome ability with being able to choose from a list of things each turn, which I really like. Lieutenant and Terminator armor, yeah, that would be interesting. Having lethal hits would be very nice for assault Terminators. That being said, um, we can give that to them anyway. You're probably going to be walking or deep striking Terminators, and you're probably going to have a character attached to them, especially if it's a big blob. So you'll have um, the ability to give them fervent acclamation and give them lethal hits in melee anyway. But a Primaris lieutenant or a Terminator lieutenant would certainly be interesting. So yeah, um, taking a look at these pictures again here. See if there's anything that I missed. I see we're getting a heavy flamer option and the missile option again for the Terminators, which is good because I think the missile option is going to be better than the assault cannon. The assault cannon was it's pretty lackluster, to be honest, in my opinion. The Space Marine jump guy has a lot of potential. I I I've never understood why we put capes on guys with jump packs. So yeah, that's a little weird to me, but it's still cool. It's a very Space Marine thing to do is have a cape when you have a jump pack. Um, jump pack intercessors, they definitely look dope. I see a power fist. That's good. We'll probably want a power fist. That's a great question, Bob. What should we record this Friday? 2.0 says that's what I do with my term Templars, 10-man squad captain, and ancient with a 7-man assault squad, and the other two mentioned. So yeah. What do you guys think? What should we record on Friday? Something related to this, perhaps? Something related to the meta? We've got a bunch of different things that we could do. We've got our own list of videos we want to do, but we also want to hear from you guys. You know, this is why we're here. Is you guys? We want to put out content that you guys want to watch. BT reading list. That's a pretty good idea. Something that would be a pretty quick video, I think. I could certainly do that as like a Templar's tip, like a 5 to 10 minute video with all the best books, something along those lines. But I like that. That's a good. I do want to do more lore videos. I do want to do another video on um, the heraldry, right? Especially now with all the new kits and sort of how things have changed and the way GW is categorizing stuff. Um, I uh, I definitely want to do another lore video or heraldry video, so I'm working on that. So keep your eye out for that. Brian says best utilization of reserves and deep strike units. That is a good shout out. I like that concept because knowing when to utilize reserves and when to when to deep strike your units can really decide the course of the game. Um, and there's not always a hard and fast, let's always reserve this unit. I mean, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes you need to put something on the field because of some other reason. So um, that might be definitely adding that to the list. we will do that at some point, if not this weekend. So we are coming up on the 1 hour mark here. We'll see. I'm holding out hope there'll be one more Space Marine or 40K reveal, but I don't think that we're going to get there. I think it's interesting they did it all at the beginning. They didn't even they just cut right to the chase and did Space Marines right out of the gate. Sometimes they try to they know that, you know, 40K is what most people are here for, and they tease us throughout the stream. Grand Enforcer hyper-specific strategic videos would be good versus Grey Knights versus Orcs versus Necrons. Yeah, that's something that we've always wanted to do. However, the problem with that is the meta changes so rapidly, right? Um, and we're unfortunately not able to put out the amount of content that someone like Auspex or even Art of War or some of the full-time YouTubers, we just don't have the capability to put out that kind of content that quickly. And I would hate for us to get like halfway through the series and then the meta completely shifts and now all those videos are, null, right? I would like to do something like that. I think maybe what we do instead is try to schedule uh, regular like tier lists kind of thing, where we're talking about, how do we combat this unit in the meta, that sort of stuff. So yeah, Mr. Mulligan says he found a few more screens. So guys, check out the Discord. He's posted some things in there. Yeah, the captain is very. Oh, he's got a power fist. That's interesting, and a combi weapon. He's kind of just. Or is that a chain fist? No, it's a power fist. He's kind of just like very similar to the um to the one in the Leviathan box. So if you get the one in the Leviathan box, unless this guy's part of a box set, you probably don't need to buy him. What's up, Crispy Chaplain? The Chaplain needs some additional bits for sure. Yeah, not enough purity seals on that guy. He definitely needs more purity seals. So Warhammer Underpants that they're talking about now, you see on the screen here. I turned the audio off on that because I don't want to compete with them while I'm talking to you guys, and they're not talking about 40K. So, uh, in case you're joining us late. So yeah, we'll see what they come up with next here. I think they've gone through most of their things that they had intended to. Let me pull up. Watch all the glorious reveals. So yeah, they talked a little bit about the codex. Couple of weeks, probably before we have some concrete information on that, I would imagine, as far as a specific release date. They want to milk the Tyranid train, I'm sure, for a little bit before they dive into Space Marines. So we'll have to see. I am gonna assume that we're gonna get 6 detachments like the NIDS decks. I'm gonna assume that those, as they said, those detachments will basically lean heavily into the sort of iconic way that the chapters who don't have a codex like us are run their lists. Like there'll be a vehicle heavy one that has durable vehicles and buffs for that stuff. So, aka Iron Hands, that sort of thing. Grand Enforcer says demonstration videos would be great. 2 to 3 minutes on examples for heroic interventions, devout push, and the new rules. You've done similar ninth. Yeah, the Templar tips. I want to start that back up. And it's really just kind of gathering a list of ones. I can generally knock those out pretty quick, but I like to record them all at once, or a bunch at once, so that way I've got content to work through and drop for you guys. So that's on my list of things to do soon. I've been trying to uh, get get a handle on what are the most commonly asked things. Um, both in our rules query section, also in Auspex Tactics Discord. I'm a admin there. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but there's a rules chat there that's pretty active. A pretty big part of that. So yeah, definitely looking into that because I do want to start that series back up. I know you guys liked it. I enjoyed doing it, and it makes for quick, easy rules explanations for stuff. So. If you have specific ideas, things that you think might be confusing or would be good for a Templars tips, we have a specific Templars tips chat in our Discord. So please drop a line in there. So they're still talking about Warhammer underpants here. So I'm going to plug our partner one more time, Baron of Dice. You can buy his dice on baronofdice.com. Use discount code IN40K to get a little bit of money off and help us in the process. He's also at Nova, so if you're at Nova, go visit him in booth 8. He's got both sets of our dice there, and you can still use the discount code with him in person. So yeah. So it looks like this might be Old World. Horses are out. Unicorns are in. Oh, this is Bretonia. So I'm glad I got to see this here, that we stayed for this, because I'm sure this is Warhammer the Old World that they are showing us. And if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Bretonian fan. So I'm really super psyched about some new Bretonian models. I have like 3,000 points of Bretonia. And this lady, right, this model right here is pretty sick. Um, so yeah, so that's exciting. Some Bretonian stuff. Are they only showing us one model? It's kind of weird. They've really been a slow grind on the old world stuff. I know we're talking about not 40K here, but I just had to nerd out about Bretonia there for a second. Um, so yeah. Any last questions, guys? Anything that you guys got on your mind that you want to talk about? In the last few minutes here, I think I'm gonna sign off here soon. I think this stream is about done from Games Workshop. So yeah. Let's get some audio back from them and see what they
Kind of
got
the
going on.
purity of the Bretonian forces.
Yeah, well, certainly of the damsels in the Bretonian
Yes.
forces. So the Bretonians aren't all nobility and chivalry, perhaps, but they certainly represent it more than most factions do in Warhammer. Some really nice nods on this miniature to some classic models. So if you've been playing Warhammer Fantasy before, you'll remember
2.0 squad, yes. From what you understand, the old world is the original fantasy, basically. Yeah.
Kind of,
It's
the hair
Warhammer
and
Fantasy.
the heraldry and
A lot of the
the
factions that
aesthetic
didn't
touches
make it
on this
into
unicorn.
Age of Sigmar,
It's kind of
they're making a
wrapped
new
in
game. Sort of
nothing
like
like
it's the Horus Heresy version of
armor or
Age
anything.
of
It's
Sigmar
actually
is
harnesses
essentially
the
what they're
power of
doing.
nature rather than kind of anything else, which is kind of nodding towards the magical power of the damsel herself.
Even the reins around the unicorn's neck are sort of garland made of thorns and branches, which really pays off that. And it's nice to see as well the glow up sort of from the right hand screen across.
Look at those old models.
Transistor years to come to Radio Elise.
Yeah, I think every single time those miniatures came out, I was like, that's one of the best miniatures that exists, and there's just something about Bretonian damsels on unicorns that just seems to bring out the best in the sculpting team every single time. Really,
Okay,
really amazing model.
absolutely stunning stuff, and yeah, can't wait to paint that one up. Chats in the chat, people in the chat asking Eddie, what's that being made out of? That
So that is a resin miniature. So I think in your head,
Resin.
you imagine this is being approached in a similar way to something like the Primarch series we had for.
Hopefully it's not
The
Finecast.
Horus Heresy. So there will be like a range of very, very detailed, very specialist resin miniatures that are kind of leaning into the detail. There will also be new plastic miniatures for the old world and lots of returning kits as well. So you have a good mix of things to play with.
There we go. It's a little teaser on more stuff to come in the future. If the quality is like that for the old world, we've got some amazing stuff to look forward to.
Do indeed.
Wow.
We have one last thing to show the folks, and I think this might be the showstopper miniature. We've had some pretty impressive miniatures so far in this preview. We have the new Trog.
There we go.
Brytonian
Let's see if it's
Damsel,
40k.
There's some new Space Marines. Some people like Space Marines.
Clonk and a squid.
Clonk, of course. But this miniature might be the best of all of them, and maybe the best miniature of the year.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll let you decide for yourselves.
Let's take a look.
Our last preview. Raph, do you want to roll film?
Could this be Fulgrim? Yep. Fulgrim. Interesting. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty dope. A snake Primarch is pretty sweet.
So, Fulgrim Transfigured, a new character miniature for the Horus Heresy.
Oh, it's for
series.
Horus Heresy.
Absolutely incredible model. This is the second of the Primarchs that we've seen kind of released in the wake of their,
We're just trying to kill him.
Powers of Chaos.
We're trying to kill them all.
And an absolutely gorgeous miniature. Nick,
He's really cool. He's Horus Heresy. I thought we were getting another Demon Primarch for 40k. Yeah, pretty dope miniature for sure.
Exactly how you imagine him when he ascends to demonhood.
You were dead. I saw Rylanor kill you with my own two eyes.
Like the little faces in the cloaks, or the beautiful scales on the snake part, the sting at the end of the tail, the forearms, the wings. The
Yeah, Mr. Emryer. Boo! Boo this man. So it's really cool. Too bad it's not 40k.
Some of the Horus Heresy artwork we've seen.
Emperor's Children fans of 40k can cry.
This is Fulgrim during the Horus Heresy, just after he's been kind of ascended to demonhood, just before the events of the Siege of Terror sort of thing. Lots of you, I'm sure, would like to see him appear in Warhammer 40,000. Maybe he will one day. But
maybe he will one day. What a tease!
Model to use in your Horus Heresy games.
And again, this
all right.
It is a resin miniature, yes.
So we're gonna meet this again one more time. So it sounds like that was it. That's the last miniature they're revealing. So we are indeed done with the stream. So thank you guys for joining me. Again, sorry I didn't refresh and we missed the first couple minutes, but I still think we had a good time and we're able to take a look at some of these really cool new Space Marine minis that they breezed through in 20 minutes. That was kind of, I guess they had a lot to cover, but usually they gush a little bit more. So in any case, really cool stuff. I'm sure we'll be doing videos coming soon on them as they publish more information about them, more images of these kits and things like that. I want to get Bob's thoughts on them, so I'm sure we'll have a video, even if it's not super long, where we'll kind of rehash and just get Bob's thoughts on it because unfortunately, like I said, he wasn't able to join us tonight. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been great. I know it's late for some of you, and we will definitely continue the content. We're going to try and ramp up our pace again back to where we were. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus, so again, apologies for that. But we do want to increase our content for you, because we greatly appreciate everything that you guys do for us, all the support that you give us. So thank you so much, and until next time, keep on crusading.